A neighbor gave this to me. It's a rare Henredon 8-drawer dresser. And at first glance, I looked at it and thought this might be beyond repair. I mean, just a couple of scratches. But hey, you could just buff those out. I'm sure I'm going to get comments that said I should have just cleaned it up and it was just fine. But this is solid wood through and through. It's just a beautiful piece. Do you think I can save it? I'm Shireen with Olive Street Designs, and I'm showing the process of furniture refinishing so you can learn too. From tutorials to ebooks and project trackers, everything to support your learning is linked on my website. I honestly wasn't sure if I could save it, but I had to give it a try. So the first thing I needed to do was take off all of this existing finish, or what's left of it anyway. So I got out my chemical stripper and just get everything spread around. After a few minutes, it's time to get this off of here, so that I can see what's underneath all of that damage. And it's going to strip off of here pretty easy. I love it when stripper actually does what it's supposed to do. Sometimes you put it on there and you're like, nope, you got to try 5 other things, but this is working the way that it should. I had a couple little stubborn areas that I grabbed my carbide scraper to get off, and then in with some acetone, and this is just to remove any residue left over from the stripper. It will also help to loosen up a little bit of that finish that's left over. So I got most of it off of there, I would say. The sides, though, that was a different problem. It was weird. The way that the sides stripped off was not like the top. One end came off pretty well here. The other one, I had to use the carbide scraper. The finish was just different. And then I took all the drawers out. And, I number everything. And I was so happy when I take drawers out. Well, first of all, found a penny. And then they're already numbered, but I get a chance to inspect everything, and I'm looking around going, it's just solid wood everywhere. See those numbers? Love that. But solid wood is just my favorite. I don't have any working components to deal with. When it's just wood on wood, it's my favorite. And these Henredon dressers are just absolutely solid. So I'm going to start out with this sanding net, 120 grit after the stripper. And again, put the sander on your piece before you hit go, so that you don't get any weird little scuffs on there. But this is real-time sanding. You see it just goes slow. And then I speed things up because we're not going to sit here necessarily for all of the time that this actually took. But look how quickly I'm getting down to walnut. Now that is a veneer on there, but it is a thick veneer. I was so happy to see it. That is beautiful. Can you believe that was under all that damage? So I'm just going to go through the same process with the sides. And you can see at the top of the side, this is a little signature mark of this particular style of Henredon. And those are just inlaid different pieces of wood. It's not quite a Greek key that would have been through certain designers, but it is definitely a distinctive Henredon design. It's so cool. And just getting the rest of the finish off. Thankfully on the drawers, the finish was much thinner than on the top, and I could just sand it away. I didn't need to use stripper here. I was worried about it getting down into the grooves there, and I'd never be able to get the stripper out, so I decided not to use stripper there and just go in with sanding. And it worked really well. It was very effective in that way. So I got all 8 drawers sanded down. And now I'm going to change grits and go to 150. And I went over the entire piece and all surfaces in 150 grit, but we'll skip all of that, because we all know how to sand. And I've got a few of these areas that are damaged, and it's just the veneer that's popped off. It always happens down on the corners, but I'm using an epoxy putty. This is a 2-part putty, and you can see the center was different than the outer ridge of that, and you just mix it together, and then you can go ahead and put it wherever you want. It's going to take a few minutes to harden. I had like 5 areas like this. Of course, they don't stain the same, so we have to do some color correction, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. And then I did sand every one of these little areas because they're kind of rough. This was done with a router of some kind, so it leaves a little bit of a rough surface. And I just thought it would look better overall if I went ahead and just ran my sandpaper through it real quick. All right, this has had a chance to harden it. It only takes about 10-15 minutes. And I'll get that sanded down smooth, and I did all of the other areas. See, I had a few here, and I want to get everything cleaned up. The leaf blower is great for getting everything out of there. I had to really clean everything up. There's a lot of dust when you start stripping a piece. And now I'm just going over everything again with acetone just to make sure everything's all clean, no residue. These are looking really good. Same thing here on the top. I'm using acetone as a cleaner. Over the years, it looked like this had been used for an art room or something. The kids definitely had stuff on it, so I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything there. Now that everything is sanded and cleaned, it's time to add back some color. And I really wanted to choose a stain that would have taken this back more to its original color. Not necessarily the color that you saw when I started, because that's of course the aged color. The old finishes and things would have, I guess, patinaed or turned a little more yellow over the years, and it becomes a little more orange. But this is going to hopefully take it back more to the original color. And I'm using some microfiber towels from this ribbon rag. They're so cool. I used to use paper towels all the time, but these actually are these small microfiber towels, and they are fantastic for removing stain. I just love them, and that they're disposables. Great. Okay, just getting the stain wiped back off. So it'll be put some stain on, let it sit for a minute, and then wipe it back off. The grain on the sides is a little different. I feel like that veneer is unusual, and it's different on this side than it is on the other. The other side looks more like the top, and maybe they just ran out and changed it in the middle. I'm not sure, but it was different. And now to these drawers. I was a little nervous about these, and I kind of had some anxiety about them because I'm like, how is this going to work with all of these grooves? Am I going to be sitting here for 2 hours trying to get stain out of these grooves because it's just going to gunk up in there? And so, thankfully, when I started wiping it back, the grooves are shallow enough that I really could wipe it back successfully. So I was super happy about that, and just making my way through all 8 drawers. I just love the style. It's so clean. It doesn't need any hardware. You actually open these drawers by the sides. Okay, this is a seal coat, and I am sealing my stain. I'm using an oil-based stain, so I'm sealing everything with a seal coat. And this transitional layer can be done with this type of a product. It can also be done with a spray shellac, which you've probably seen me use too. But I decided to spray this just because I had such a large surface. I'm also making sure to put it on the tops of the drawers. When I'm spraying, they don't get sprayed. Now it's time to blend in some of these repairs. So these are blend all sticks, and I'm going to be using color after color to try to just completely mask that so you won't know that it's there. And this is in a really bright light, so it shows everything, but then I'll hit it with a little toner and you would never know that that repair was there. And I did 4 or 5 of those. Once everything had a chance to fully set up and dry, now is top coat time. And again, I'm doing the tops of the drawers first, just of how they're going to stand up and get sprayed later. It'll be easier. And then I got to looking at the back of this piece, which I don't usually address the backs. I get tons of questions about the back. How come you don't do the back? Okay, I'm doing the back. It just didn't look right to make everything else so beautiful, and the back of that was kind of beat up. Now I just did a quick sand on that and got dust off, and time for my first coat of top coat. I'm going to be doing multiple layers of top coat. Of course, this is now beautiful, and I want it to also be durable. And I'm just going to hit the back with a quick top coat just to make sure that stain is well sealed in. I did the back with a water base, so I didn't have to do any type of seal coat on that. All right, we're just going to go coat after coat of top coat and sanding in between each coat. And now these drawers need some conditioning. Some of them were actually really dry, and I wish I would have filmed them, but this one's going to shine up really nicely. And this is a wax, so I get lots of questions about these oils and things, but you wipe off any excess and then it will set up over time. But let's take a look back at where we started. I mean, wow, I didn't even know if I could save this. It was pretty rough, but here we are now. She's a beauty. I love all the variations in the wood, and the end pieces here with those inlays are just gorgeous. And look at the top. Those drawers are beautiful. I just absolutely am in love with this piece. It's going to be a hard one to let it go, but I'm so happy I was able to restore this back to its original condition. I really hope you like this as much as I do. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow for more. And for a more detailed look into stripping furniture, I cover the entire process step by step in my book, The Complete Guide to Stripping Furniture. It is available on my website.